I felt for years, Magnus, like that our veteran community is our nation's number one underutilized asset. We go through all that training in the military, we go through leadership training, we go through physical training, pushing ourselves, mental training. I mean, there's a lot of good there in resiliency, right? And being able to do tough, hard things. I think it's time for us to stand up and to lead and to make the hard decisions in our families, in our communities, and in government, if that's what you want to get into. Like we are leaders. Our veteran community is full of capacity, capability, and care. Give a damn. And that excites me, man. Like I want to see good come from bad. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, man, I'm 100% like, hey, if you got PTSD, TBI, address it. Don't hide from it. Don't ignore it. Address it. Once you start addressing it, start helping others. Start leading your family. Start leading a company. Get involved in your local politics. Start supporting like homeless. Start helping people in the community that maybe aren't as well adjusted or need support. When you talk about underutilized for years, while we were talking about mental health and suicide, there's kind of been this issue with veterans, half the veterans getting kind of too stuck and entrenched in it, and the other half being like, I want nothing to do with that. And, it's not either or, it's both and. Like, we got to deal with our problems so that we can continue to serve and lead, so we can set an example, so we can set the tone. We've been through the fire, so now we can guide others through the fire. That's the point. That's the scope. That's what I believe that the warrior spirit is all about. That doesn't mean ignore your problems. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm tough, I don't need to address it. But it also means once you start addressing it, don't latch your identity to a diagnosis.
Yeah.
Don't stay there. Don't introduce yourself as like, I'm a veteran with PTSD. Like, dude, what's your favorite color? What do you like doing? What business are you growing? So many things. We got to move forward. We got to look forward, and we can't let our past identify us. It's just where we've been.
Totally, man. I know for me personally, when I'm the least unhappy, it's when I'm self-focused. When I'm thinking about
Yes.
when I'm just internal, when I'm thinking about myself and what I want and da 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 whatever. I think the thing I love about farming, when I go out to the farm with my herd of cattle, they don't care how I feel, but I've got a sense of purpose. I've got a responsibility. In the middle of calving season, it's raining, it's nasty, it's cold, whatever the case is, like I got to show up. I've got something bigger than myself to take care of. And I think that's something that's really, really, really important and valuable to have a purpose greater than ourselves. For me, without that, I'm probably not making much impact. But when I have purpose, like feeding people to me today with Rebel, and we shipped over 20,000 orders to people across the country. That feels good. Knowing that we are
Yeah.
feeding clean food, I'm feeding their families, healthy, clean, regeneratively raised, super clean meat. Man, it's purpose, dude. And it's not just about me. It's about one, it's about this movement. I think in America today, there's definitely a movement where people want one truth, but specifically in this realm, truth in our food. Where is it coming
Yeah.
from? Today, beef can be imported to our country and called a product of the United States because it was packaged here.
Yep.
Well, that's completely misleading. That's completely smoke and mirrors, right? Like we can serve. There's more to our story. We're not finished. We're not over. I don't think give a damn goes away when you've got that sense of service in your inside of who you are. When I took that oath to uphold and swear and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, I took that seriously, and I'm pretty sure you took that seriously too, right? So
You
did
bet.
everyone. And that still holds true today. I believe in that still to this day of serving people. I'm happier when I'm serving people. I'm happier when I'm making an impact. This is not about me. Honestly, for my own selfish purpose, I need to serve other people to
Yep.
be content, to be fulfilled, to feel like I'm actually making an impact bigger than myself.
I mean, there's tons of psychological studies that show when you think of others, when you care about others, when you serve others, you're happier, you have less depression, less anxiety, less inflammation. Like, there's science that backs that up. Spiritually, we've been talking about that from the beginning. But then if you're someone who is willing to raise your right hand to serve, that probably hasn't changed over the years. And so one of the messages I'd like to get to veterans that maybe are watching this is like, yeah, it's good to help other veterans and support veteran causes, but I would also recommend, and I think it's really cool when you start serving your community, people who maybe aren't veterans. When you take your strength, your story, your history, and you put it in the service of civilians, that's a continuation of how we started this journey to begin with. And that comes full circle. And I myself have been healthier, happier, and more connected to people when I did that.
Yeah. By the way, that's true love.
Yeah, man. True love is not like, oh, I like this person. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is trusting. Love is self-sacrificial. And when you live that out to the best of your ability, you're healthier on physically, emotionally, spiritually, all the you're a healthier person. And then you can't give what you don't have, right? And so if you want to have a better life, help other people have a better life. If you want to be healthy, help other people be healthy. It's a spiritual principle. And when we live it out, guarantee you'll see it's true.